On this video, we'll look into layer blending modes and some extras on the free transform mode. We'll use these tools for photo textures. Like we studied before, the layer has its own opacity. Next to the opacity is a menu that changes the blending mode of the layer. In normal situation, it should say normal. From this menu, I can change the blending mode of layer 1. The list is divided into sections. The first one are darkening blending modes. The next one is for lightening. The third one is for combination modes. The fourth one is for complementary blending. And the last one is for color blending. I'll select the darkening multiply blending mode. Layer 1 blends to the layers underneath in a darkening manner. The lighter areas on layer 1 are not as opaque as the dark ones. Screen mode blends layer 1 in a lightening manner. Overlay darkens and lightens the colors. You can change the different blending modes by using your mouse roll. Different blending modes have a variety of uses. I'll make a layer where I'll paint some blue color. I'll make this layer blend to the layers underneath by selecting the overlay blending mode. This made quite convincing lipstick. I'll reduce the opacity of the lipstick layer. Blending modes can be used for photo textures. I'll copy a tree texture from the web and paste it on the file. I'll blend this layer to the layers underneath by selecting a darkening multiply blending mode. The texture is now blended. I'll reduce the opacity a bit. This is how you use a photo as a texture. The multiply blending mode works so that the dark areas cover the layers underneath, but the light ones don't. Most often, I need to edit the contrast of the photo used for texture. I'll overexpose the texture from levels. Now the photo has pure white areas that don't affect the underneath layers when in multiply blending mode. I can also change the colors of the texture. For this, I'll go to Image Adjustments, Hue Saturation, and click on Colorize. This is how I can color the gray texture. I'll make the texture red from the sliders. Now I'll remove the texture from the areas it shouldn't be in. For this, I'll use the eraser tool. Next, we'll check the extra features on the free transform tool. I'll select the layer with a copy of the head. I'll enter free transform mode by clicking Ctrl T. I can now scale the image or rotate it. If I press on Shift, the scaling doesn't change the ratio and the rotation is in increments of 15 degrees. But I have even more options with the extra features of free transform. I can see these by right-clicking when in free transform mode. We already tried flip horizontal and flip vertical. After these, the most useful are distort and warp. If I click on distort, nothing visible happens. But now I can move each corner of the free transform box. This way I can put the layer into a new form, similar to a perspective. I don't want this transform to happen. I click on Cancel on the second row. I'll enter free transform once again and try the feature Warp. When I'm in Warp, I can drag from any place of the layer. I can also move corners inwards. This way I can mold the layer to be in a ball or a barrel shape. If I'm happy with the results, I click on Enter. This can be used, for example, with photo textures. I'll shape the texture on the face to be more suitable on the forms of the face. I'll select a texture layer and enter free transform and warp. I'll move the edges inwards and the center outwards. This way the texture is more shaped like a face. In my case, I could select the area of the nose and enter free transform and warp to edit just the nose area. Better way would have been to make a new texture layer for the nose. This is how you can use blending modes and the extra features on the free transform tool for photo textures.